Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. So week 4 of college football is in the books, and it was definitely a memorable one. We had a shootout in the Southwest Classic between Arkansas and A&M. A&M survived yet again in overtime. Penn State won the game on the final play of the game against Iowa. That was a thriller. Saquon Barkley rallied 300 all-purpose yards in that game to improve his Heisman status. TCU went on the road and upset Oklahoma State. And Kentucky was just a few feet short of beating Florida for the first time in 30 years. They just barely missed that field goal. So it was a heck of a week in college football. That's just a few examples of how exciting this week was. Now I'm just going to do a brief recap, show you how I did on my picks. But before we do that, I got a few messages to send out to a few people. Last week, I just addressed some of the comments about LSU and Mississippi State. A lot of people did not agree with that pick, and I ended up picking it right, picking the Bulldogs to upset the Tigers. And this week, I'm really going to focus on one team more so than a couple of comments. Pittsburgh fans. Some of you have given me credit, have really supported me throughout these videos, and some of you have not. I predicted Pittsburgh to go 5-7 this year. I'm just going to read some of the comments they've had after their start that I have predicted right after the first 4 games. I've nailed their prediction. We're just going to start with Jack Hillgrove on my Pittsburgh video. I lost brain cells watching this. Okay. Jonathan Williams Kinsel. This is a terrible analysis. Okay, that's all right. Because I predicted Pittsburgh to go 5-7 this year. They started off 1-3, just like I predicted. They could almost be 0-4 had they not beaten Youngstown State in overtime. So yeah, Pittsburgh fans. A lot of people are saying they're going to go 8-4 this season. We'll touch on that in a second. Let's continue. Jack Hillgrove comments again. Pittsburgh has played extremely well against Georgia Tech in the past. Predictions are way off. Do some more research. Final score from this Saturday. Georgia Tech 35, Pittsburgh 17. Also, Jack Hillgrove, the past means nothing. The past doesn't matter one bit. Last year, one team can do one thing. The next year, things are completely different. So, completely different teams. Reed Rosenberg, just a bland comment. This guy sucks. Jed Homill, 5-7, LMAO. They're going to go 8-4. Gary Hay, you're an idiot. At least 8-4. Well, it's funny because Pittsburgh's 1-3 right now, and they have, I believe, 8 games left on the schedule. They still have to go to Syracuse, play North Carolina State, who just upset Florida State on the road. Still have to go to Duke. Still have Miami. Still have Virginia Tech. They're going to go 7-1 over those last 8 games? I mean, Pittsburgh fans are delusional. And then there's one other last comment I have there, but by FaZe owner. This was not involving Pittsburgh. This one was regarding the Notre Dame-Michigan State game this past Saturday. I want you to delete your channel when Michigan State wins. And then he was very nice and he added a please. Please delete your channel when Michigan State beats Notre Dame. Final score from this past Saturday, Notre Dame 38, Michigan State 18. So, I'm sorry, FaZe owner, but this channel is still here, has yet to be deleted, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So I know you might be a little disappointed about that, Mr. FaZe owner, but it is what it is. Picked Notre Dame to go 9-3. I believe I had Michigan State going 6-6, and I knew the Fighting Irish were going to go in there and take care of business against the Spartans. So that's just a few more comments I just wanted to share with you guys to show what's going on, kind of behind the scenes on some of the comments. Now we're going to do our real Week 4 recap right now, like we always do. And right before I get into anything, I do want to clarify that I will miss quite a bit of games, and I have already missed quite a bit. I've already missed 41 games this year, so it's going to happen. And as I say, every time I do these videos, I'll always say this: I'm going to miss some, and I'm going to get a lot right, and that's just how it's going to go. It's not a big deal. People, make some bold predictions every now and then, and sometimes it pays off when you get them right, and sometimes it doesn't when you get them wrong. So I know you guys are gonna bash me when I'm wrong, and you have the right to do that because it's gonna happen. So I know I'm not perfect, as you can see. It just is what it is. It's been a lot of fun. That's why we're doing this. But when people do bash me on my page and I'm right, I'm definitely going to call them back out. So Week 4. 26-9 this week. 35 teams played in a game. A lot of the teams, the number of games went down from the past couple of weeks because a lot of teams started conference play this season or this week. So 26-9 for about 74% winning percentage. That brings our overall record to 172-41, which if you round up is an 81% winning percentage. Still not bad for a third of the way through the season. Not bad at all. Saw some exciting games there. I do want to point out one thing, though, that I forgot. North Carolina State did go on the road and beat Florida State this year. In my predictions that I did back in June and July, I had Florida State going 11-1. Obviously, at that point in time, I did not know that Florida State quarterback Deondre Francois was going to be out for the season. That obviously would have changed my picks. And I'm not going to lie, I still would not have picked Florida State to lose to NC State at home. But I would not have picked them to continue to go 11-1. I could see them being one of those years for Florida State. If they don't turn things around, things get pretty brutal. They could be looking at a 4-loss, 3-loss season. They're 0-2. They dropped out of the top 25 for the first time since 2011. That brings us to our first team that is trending down, in my opinion, Florida State. 0-2, out of the top 25 for the first time since 2011. They've really got to figure out the problem with their quarterback. I know one player doesn't make a team, but when you lose your quarterback, that's a huge blow to a team that did have playoff hopes this season. I think they'll be able to turn some stuff around. They're going to go bowling, in my opinion. Definitely don't see them going to like the Orange Bowl like they did last year, though. Could be a rough year for them, and that's just how it goes in college football. You never know what's going to happen. Whenever a player like that goes down, especially with that much talent, it really does suck to see that happen. North Carolina is another team I want to address. I'm not being ACC biased here, but they're also 1-3. They lost to California, Duke, and Louisville this season. That's how they're 1-3, and they're really trending down for a team that I did think would take a step back, but get back to a bowl game. So they're not looking too hot right now. Hopefully, they can turn some stuff around there. Teams trending up though. TCU. I predicted Oklahoma State to beat TCU yesterday, and TCU shocked me. I mean, I knew TCU was a good team, very experienced, good offense, and even a better defense, and they really did turn on the heat against Mason Rudolph at Oklahoma State. One of the commentators in that game said it best, that TCU's defense made Mason Rudolph look mediocre, pedestrian. And it's true, he did. That's a huge blow to his Heisman campaign. Not like he's out of it, but that does hurt when you don't perform against one of the better defenses like he wanted to. TCU, I believe, won that game by 13. They're number 9 in the country now after upsetting the Cowboys, so that was a huge win for them, undefeated there. Utah is another team I want to talk about. They're 4-0 as well. I wanted to hold off putting Utah on my list until they won a key conference game. They beat BYU. They went on the road and beat Arizona, a team that some people thought could upset Utah in that game. But they're 4-0, and they're looking really good right now. Still nationally ranked, so they're on the rise. I do have them going 6-6. The conference play will get tougher as the season goes on, so they could drop a few there. But I definitely see them going a little bit better than 6-6 now. And then North Carolina State, as we've already addressed, went on the road and upset Florida State. And they're looking really good right now. I had them going 9-3, my original predictions. They're living up to those predictions right now. I had them losing to Florida State originally, like I said, before the Deondre Francois injury. But now with that win over Florida State, I think that gives that team some confidence, and they're going to be a real threat in the ACC right now. Could potentially win that division if they can win some of those key games. So it's going to be very exciting to watch that division in the ACC. Keep an eye on the Wolfpack, though, because if they can get a few other upsets in there, they're not only looking at ACC championship, maybe college football playoff if they don't lose any other big games. So keep an eye on that. And get ready for Week 5 of college football. I believe that starts Thursday night between Texas and Iowa State. Can Tom Herman get a key win over Iowa State at home? They're very dangerous there. Iowa State's definitely shown signs of improvement, but so is Texas, giving USC a fight there in Week 3. So that's going to be a very fun one to watch, and that'll obviously carry over into Friday and Saturday for Week 5. Tons of conference games are going to be going on, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a lot better than Week 4, so make sure you keep an eye on that. And please continue to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on The Gridiron Expert.